we have three resourceful women in our midst. First, I'll be introducing Mrs. Titilayomi Adewale. Mrs. Titilayomi Adewale is a passionate intercessor with a burden to see the ideal Christian family fill the nations of the earth. She's a gifted preschooler's teacher by training. She spent 15 years in the classroom, shaping and modeling children. She left the classroom to face her ministry and e-commerce business. She believes that the new fun path will provide her so much satisfaction and fulfillment. She currently works with her husband at Fact Mission, a young mission work situated in Ikotun, Lagos. She oversees the children ministry at Fact Mission, and she's happily married to Pastor Adewale Emmanuel and blessed with 3 children. Please welcome Mrs. Titilayomi Adewale. Yes, this second great personality joined banking in 2008 as a National Youth Corps member and became a permanent staff July 2012. Since then, she has worked across various units in the bank where her input was strategic for deepening clients' relationship and driving revenue growth within the business. She is a certified anti-money laundering specialist. We call that AML. Yeah, with a background in accounting. She's a passionate due diligence and AML compliance. She's passionate due diligence and AML compliance, and she's keen on efficient service delivery and compliance, and also a go-getter. Please welcome with me Mrs. Oloitare Omomofel. Please, ma, join us here. Please keep clapping for her, please. Yes. Third but not the least of our panelists for today is a fellow chartered certified accountant with deep domain expertise in compensation, reward, and employee benefit management, with a track record of on-time and on-budget delivery on core reward and HRIS solutions. She's a people leader with proven ability to understand business strategy. She works collaboratively with internal and external stakeholders in multicultural environments and delivering tangible business outcomes across geographies. Her career journey has availed her the opportunity to garner experience in agile people management and connecting the dots across all HR functions. She is a God chaser, an intercessor, and co-senior pastor of Harvest Word Assembly. She's married and blessed with 3 lovely kids. Please welcome on stage with me Pastor Olawumi Shafe. Thank you so much, Maz, for coming here, for joining us today. And yes, we really look forward to learning from your experiences over the years and yeah, getting to walk and run with them. Thank you so much again for joining us. Yes, so right now we'll dive straight into the questions that we have for our panelists. And during the course of this session, I would like us to listen attentively and pen down our questions. And at intervals, I would ask any of us to contribute to what we are discussing. Thank you very much. Yes, so I'll start with Mrs. Titilayomi. what do you think are the most significant challenges that entrepreneurs um, face? And how do you think these challenges can be overcome? Mics, please.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
First, I want to apologize for coming late. I'm so sorry. I don't have an excuse. It's not. Let me help you, please. Okay. I am so sorry. Please pardon me. It's not me at all. At all. Please. I'm so sorry. Thank you, moderator. Thank you, man of God. And I will say a big thank you to my one and only Pastor Mrs. and Pastor Desmond. Thank you so much for giving me this privilege. I'm grateful. A big question first. Okay. Can I use my business as an example?
Would like to really hear
They just put the income you are getting, the when you are checking their what's it called, the book. Thank you, ma. It's corresponding with what you're sending into your account. Easy. There's so many expensive now. You have to get a whole lot of money to be able to. Okay, so for my business, how to solve it, right? Okay, I'm a drop shipper. Um, I get items, maybe China wares, home appliances, Turkey wares, from a particular place, and then I deliver. Sometimes I do way bills outside Lagos, around Lagos. For me, I can't get here. Do trainings online. Look at other people around me who are doing the same business, but they've gone far, and I'm seeing them doing good explore business plan. And as the money is coming in, trust me, you will just at the moment. So for me, the only way I think for my business I can settle that is to learn more on that business, do more training, and learn from other people around me who are in the same field, just like I am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. So she has identified that capital is one of the challenges faced by businesses, and she's able to overcome that by prioritizing, prioritizing your needs. Because you are making 500,000 naira income does not mean you should go and buy Ferrari the next. That's going to work. So thank you so much for sharing your experience, ma'am. Yes, so Mrs. Omomofe, would like to know how, as a career person, and would like to know how we can identify our skills, and leverage that to actually build a successful career. Most times when you go for interviews, they tell you, what are your skills? You need to have soft skills, technical skills. So how do you truly, especially for people, now you discover that you went to the university to study a particular course, and you end up, maybe you study Yoruba education, and you end up in the bank. So, so how do you leverage, your skills? How do you identify your skills and leverage that to advance in your career? Thank you.
Thank you very much, the pastors, for having me. Okay, I'll just go straight to the question. Identify your skills. How do you identify your skills? So identifying your skills means self-evaluation, self-assessment. Who am I? What do I like to do? What is that thing that I love regardless? What is that thing that I can do with ease? What is that thing that I will struggle to do? So first of all, you know yourself. Oftentimes, like she has mentioned, workplace, career place is not really what we studied in school. And maybe you have gone to school to do maybe computer science and your first job is a teller. So being a teller, when you start being a teller, so you now start to find out this IT that I read, or this computer science that I went to school to read, did I actually love it? Was it because of jam? Was it my parents who decided it? At some point in life, when you want to start a career, that self-assessment is very key, regardless of the course, regardless of where you work, regardless of where you find yourself. And when you identify that skill, it might even be from people, getting feedback from people. Oh, I did something yesterday. I did a computing yesterday. I did a data analysis yesterday. Did I do it well? Even if it's in the tailoring, for example, if you start from the banking sector and it's tailoring, still you ask people, okay, am I doing it well? If it's customer care, what is that thing that you love to do, that you do well? So even if you are not in that field at that time, where you are, use that skill regardless. So if for example you are in customer care and what you love to do is IT, what you love to do is computer, you can fix. There are often times that the system have issues. Even in church, if the system, like if you go offline now and you are an IT professional, you can fix it. So when you start to do those things, regardless of where your career is, you now start to grow your interest in it. And then self-learning is continuous. When you identify it, start to grow in it, regardless of if you are there or not. Regardless of if you are there or not, learning does not stop. It has to be continuous. So even if you identify your skill, oh, I'm very good at ABC, what will you do to sustain it? You have to be, it also has to be global. So you can't just sit in your comfort zone and say, oh, this is how we do it in Lagos. Let me just do it like this. Oh, I want to be a chartered accountant. I've done ICANN. I'm okay with ICANN. With ICANN, fetch you that job when you get there. So continuous, you have to be continuous in learning. Do your self-assessment, know yourself, and using it in career path to grow in career. It's not only for career, even for your self-fulfillment. If you understand what you do, if you do it well and you do it seamlessly, you will be fulfilled in the long run.
Thank you so much. Please jam your hands together for her. I think that for both panelists that have spoken, one thing has stood out: learning. Learning never ends. You don't think you have gotten to, no one has gotten to the peak of whatever it is you want to learn. And that is why we have to constantly, consciously, and deliberately improve on ourselves daily. Thank you so much. Yes, Pastor Shafe. In this audience today, we have individuals that are married and, waiting, expectant, what do we call them? Singles, yes. So we would like to know how can individuals effectively manage cultural and societal expectations in their relationships, for the singles, and marriages for the couples.
Okay, Thank you. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Ma, for this opportunity. Thank you all. When she was apologizing, I asked myself, are you still born again? You also came late, and you didn't plan to apologize, so I apologize for coming late.
Thank you.
Okay, so when you talk about cultural and societal pressure, let me ask, or let's split it. Cultural, let's talk about the family. Now, for those who are married, and this is one thing I've had to learn, and I think it has worked. For those who are married, you cannot stop cultural pressure. Your mother-in-law, your mother, you will get married, you want to enjoy your life for 1 year, they will start putting mouth asking you, are you okay? Are you having stomach pain? The day you complain of headache, they'll tell you, have you gone to the hospital? Are you sure it's not? The day you see your period, they ask you, are you sure it's not miscarriage? The pressure will always be there. So what I tell people is, for the cultural pressure, as a woman, handle your family, let your husband handle his family. And what do I mean? If the pressure is coming from your in-laws, let your husband be the one to answer to them. let your husband be the one to interface them. The reason why people get badly hit in the face of cultural pressure is because the mother-in-law comes in, she makes an observation, it is the wife answering her. She misinterprets it. She thinks you don't want help. She thinks you don't want support. Then she takes it the other way and says she's not a good wife. So cultural pressures are there. Don't try to stop them. What you need to do is effectively manage them. If your mother-in-law is the one raising the concerns, let your husband be the one to interface her. She loves her son so much she can't disown her son. She cannot come to conclude that her son does not want help. If it is your mom or your parents or your siblings raising the issues, be the one to interface. Because no matter what you do, they will raise these issues. You just have to learn to manage it so that it doesn't come in the way of your marriage. Okay. That's for cultural. Now for societal pressure has to do with people around us.
Yeah.
The society around us. I mean, the society is not the stones or the breeze around, it's the people.
Yes.
So what you can do to manage that is mind your circle of friends. I don't have a circle of friends that puts me under pressure to go to the club. Pastor John, God doesn't go to club. I'm sure she doesn't even know any club in this place. Don't say I said so. But you know, when you have friends like that, when you're surrounded with people, and when you see one another, what you're talking about is, oh, what will help you? What will enhance your life? What will help you grow? Then you are taking care of societal pressure. So societal pressure may be the different vices, friends telling you, how can you be going out with a lady and you've not had sex? Or you're going out with a man and you've not had sex. You know, people telling you, as you go into the marriage, just tell yourself that divorce is an option. Don't shut the door on divorce. Those are some of the societal pressures that we're going to see now. People are going into the marriage and they're already going with the mindset of, if I get there, it doesn't work, I back out. So if you surround yourself with friends that can help you achieve God's purpose for your life, then you have reduced that also. You cannot take out these pressures. You can't stop it. What you need to do is effectively manage them. Mind your circle of friends. Mind what you feed on, what you watch. It's okay to have a Netflix account, but excuse me, you can choose what you want to see on Netflix. Yeah. There are some movies you don't need to subject yourself to. That alone can mount pressure on you. You are single and then you are looking at erotic movies. You are looking at movies that set you on. So tell me, what do you intend to do after watching it? You know, so these are just little things. Mind what you watch, mind what you feed on, mind the people who speak into your life, mind the people who talk to you and people you share your troubles with. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, and that will lead me to my second question to you, ma'am. Yes. Okay, so what do you think some of the tips that can be used to build strong and meaningful relationships, you know, while navigating the challenges of modern dating?
So let me ask,
what are the
challenges in modern dating? Let's just talk about two. Premarital sex.
Yeah.
All right? Yes. And financial issues, financial dependence. So how do you manage premarital sex? Your bodies are created to want sex, whether you like it or not. You have hormones. You have hormones interacting. But what you need to do, and this is not only for the single ladies, you can be married and sex is not available. So you must learn to manage it. Some people go into marriages with sex addictions. So even though they are married, they struggle with containing their desire for sex. So it is not only to say, oh, you're a single lady, so you're the one who needs this. So one of these challenges in premarital or when you're in a relationship is premarital sex. The guy is asking for sex, your body is asking for sex. One of you should just sit down and talk to one another. Now, I know before now, it was popular that people would say, would have a covenant with God. God, the day I fall into this thing, let my eye grow blind. And then based on the covenant, there's something they are afraid of. Now, one thing another person says is, if anybody is asking for sex or you feel like having sex with someone, just label the person's head HIV positive. That may create a fear, but really, it has to do with yourself. You have to be determined. Now, I know that the temptation is real. And like I said, it's not only for the singles. For everybody, you have to be determined. You have to label sex before marriage as sin. Call it what it is. It is a sin and God does not like it. God does not want it. As long as we keep calling it fling, they have different names for it now. Sex before marriage is no longer seen as sin. It's now seen as the norm. Name it what it is. It is a sin. If you name it what it is and you have the fear of God in you, you have reduced your problem by 50%. Sex is not a gift. It's not a birthday gift. You're going out with someone, it's his birthday, and you think you should give him a gift. It's not a Valentine gift. Thank you, ma. It's not a gift in any form. That's one. Yeah. Another thing you should understand is, when you talk about sex before marriage, now let me tell you something. A man does not need to have sex with you before he decides if he wants to marry you or not. Because most of the time, ladies are gullible. They think, let me give him everything so that he will know I'm in this relationship only. Giving him sex is not one of the things men, real men, look for in marriage. Sex is good. I'm not saying sex is not one of the main things, but for a man to decide to marry you, the first thing that comes to his head is value, not sex. So if you have someone you're in a relationship with and he keeps asking you for sex, then you know, number one, he's probably not a real man. He should be able to look out for other things. Both of you need to agree, set boundaries, and then you have to assess the person you're in a relationship with. Now, talking about the second challenge, financial issues. You have, and okay, I don't want to jump now, but let me just take it one at a time. One of the challenges now is the fact that some ladies are eager to throw their troubles, financial troubles, on some guys. So you are waiting for the son of somebody to come and take over your problems. If you, as a lady, develop yourself, and like the other two panelists have said, you have a vision ahead of you. You learn, you develop yourself. You are able to build up yourself financially. You are not at any man's mercy. Even if you meet a man that wants to rob you, or a man, because I call it robbing. I mean, you get to a relationship and immediately your rent falls due. Immediately your mother is sick. Immediately your father is sick. Immediately you have family issues. You are able to tell that this person is a low-minded person. Yeah. So sex, financial dependence, there are two major challenges in modern dating, and you just need to be able to develop yourself, be determined, and make up your mind that you just want to do it God's way.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Omomofe. It is often said that, sometimes gaining experience trumps whatever money you want to get from a role. And you would see that a lot of people are actually underpaid because...
everyone is underpaid.
Yes. Actually, your employer cannot pay you what you are worth, but, to some extent, especially let's look at Lagos, for instance. You see people, some are going all the way from Ibadan to Lagos Island, and they are just paid for 60,000, 80,000, and you expect these people to show up every day, put in their best, and still look good, take care of family. Because once your family people know that you are employed, everybody is calling for one help or the other at the end of the month. So, would like to know, what do you think are key considerations, when evaluating job offers, and negotiating salaries? Because there was a point in my life too when I was always scared to say, this is what I'm worth. I know my worth, but I feel if I say it, maybe they will not call me again. It took a lot of effort to actually break through that. So, but we would like to know, what do you think are the things that we should look out for? How do we effectively negotiate salaries? What should we consider in our jobs? Now, let's look at singles and married, because there are two dynamics to that. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think your question is two in one. What do you look at when you want to take on a role? And then the salary negotiation. So what you look at when you want to take on a role, you understand the crisis, you understand that times are difficult and people just need to get a job, But in getting that job, don't forget that you are first yourself. You are you. Like when I spoke the first time, I said identify yourself. Know what. So you are first yourself. Yes, you need the job to survive. But of what use is it when you get a job, you don't even like the job, you don't like the environment, and then you are being paid. At the end, everything is like negative. It's affecting your health, it's affecting your family. You are not happy. So of what use is the money? So first of all, when we are getting jobs, as tough as it can be, check if it's something you truly love, if it's something you think you can do. And then oftentimes when you get it, even if, okay, you just have to do it, I have some debts to pay, I have to do this job, you have to create your own inner happiness, regardless of how the job is, whether you like it or not. You have to first of all be happy. Because I was talking to a group of Christians, so I had to put that particular line in my profile, where I said I was a contract staff for at least 4 years. So I served in that organization, and then I became a contract staff. I see people that I work much better than, but they earn way better than me.
Yeah.
So that became my own value. What do I want for myself? I love the organization. I like the work-life balance, but I wasn't getting what I was supposed to get. And so frustration came in. I was thinking, should I leave? Should I stay? I went for a lot of interviews, but thank God for counsel. So as career people, you need mentors, you need counsel. You can't have it all by yourself. So while you are determining, should I get this role, whether it's good or not, whether you like it or not, enjoy it. Personally enjoy it. So when you start to enjoy it, you will start to look at your self-development again. Self-development will not go, continuous learning will not go. And then it might not be in that organization that will pay you. That's the truth. It might be another organization. It might be somebody else. It might just be, you find people who have worked in an organization for so long a time, and then somebody just calls them to say, oh, somebody recommended you. Can you work with me? I like you to work with me. You're good seed. But if you get the job and say, oh, because you did not like it, or you were not enjoying the job, you did not put in your best, you find out that you are stuck there for 10 years. That's why you see some people, they've been in an organization for 10 years. They said they don't promote, they don't pay me. But you are there for 10 years because you are angry. So because you are angry, you have not been able to identify who you are, what you should do, the learnings you should take. That's on the road. So regardless of, because of Nigerian economy, because of the way things are tough, you might not actually like the role, but when you get it, love it. Create that inner peace, inner happiness to love it. And then when you are negotiating pay is very key. So when you are negotiating pay, speak with people. There are people who work in that organization. Make inquiries, do research.
Yeah.
Does this organization pay well? Or how often do they even increase in salaries? And then you must know the difference between your gross and your net.
Yeah.
Don't let them give you offer and you say, oh, maybe on your offer letter you saw 2 million.
2 million
you are so
gross.
excited. It's 2 million. Do you understand how much you enter your account at the end of the day? Because oftentimes, that's why I say counsel, mentorship is very important. So you get an offer, even people that are MDs, when they get offer, they have their own mentors they go to. Say, I got this offer, this is it. They will discuss it. So you don't just get an offer because you are frustrated or because you've been at home for too long. You just jump at it. At the end, maybe the change will be like 3K. If you don't analyze it properly. You are staying in Kosu, you got an offer in Lagos Island, and it's 100,000 they put. You did not find out. Is it what will enter my account? I'm always very practical, so I would say to the HR, how much will enter my account month end? That's what I need to hear. It's not you have leave allowance.
Yes.
HMO. What will enter my account? Because it's based on that. You will do your analysis on transport, on family needs, on the ones to save, on your rent, on everything. So we have to always know the difference between the gross and then the net.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was so educative and enlightening. Really, that gross and net is really important though. Because by the time you discover that 20K is going for pension, 10K is going for lunch, that lunch they are giving you is part of your salary. You discover that at the end of the day, maybe you have 80K left in your account. Yes. So please, let's put that into consideration. And at any point in this section that you have any question, please, you can just raise up your hands or meet with Sister Regina to put down your names. Thank you very much. So now, Ms. Shafe, Mrs. Titi, sorry. So for married entrepreneurs, how can they involve their spouses, in the business while maintaining a healthy relationship? Now, we often hear that finances sometimes cause separation in marriage, and when both partners decide to go into business together, or maybe it's the wife or the husband that has started out business and the other partner wants to join in, how do you think this can be effectively carried out while we still have a healthy relationship?
Thank you. I think the first thing is open communication. The wife or the husband has to be open to the spouse. They both must have an understanding of what the business is about. I can't be running a business and then I'm hiding it from my husband. And then he sees me go out very early in the morning, I'm coming back in the evening, and then he doesn't know what I'm doing or what the business is about. There are many people that, just leave their homes like that. And the husband can't even say, oh, if you call her this time, she's here. You can find her here. Some men don't even have that idea, or women, like I'll say. So I think open communication. There must be transparency in that relationship. The husband has to know everything about the wife's business. Same thing to the wife. I'll give an example. Because of my business, I run into debt so many times. Recently, I made a delivery of a sneakers and male shoe to Worry. The pastor's wife wanted to surprise the husband, for Father's Day. So I now thought, okay, me leaving my house, I'm going straight to this place to go and get just sneakers and shoe, transport and everything. Okay, supplier, I sent the pictures, I paid and everything. I paid money for Weibo and they delivered. And then as soon as I saw the person that got the item from, as soon as I saw her call, I was already scared. Did you say? She was crying, said, Chimo, Chineke. I was scared. I knew they packed the wrong item. And I said, ma, please calm down. What happened, ma? I say, is this the sneakers? This is not even white. This is off-white. And they sent me blue shoe. I paid for black shoe. And what is this lion head doing on the shoe? And what? I started crying because that's her first time. Someone referred her to me. And I felt so bad. And I told my husband, babe, that's happened again. And he said, calm down, sit down first, go relax, wait, because I know how to worry. I can worry. So I was already thinking, okay, let me just refund her. I said, call the supplier first. And I called the Igbo man now, as usual. And they said, don't mind now, waiting in the expect. Now go through, you won't see how much he pay. Make the husband manager like that. And I said, are you even thinking of my own business? You've gotten your own cash and everything, and then all you're saying is, no man, and leave and make it well like that. And I felt so terrible, and I didn't know what. So I just ended the call. I'm going to say, you know what? Oh yeah, I'll borrow you this amount. Refund the woman immediately. So it's not even just the refunding; it's me delivering. I don't like to refund. If I make a refund to a client, I just get this feedback in my spirit that she or that person will not patronize me again. Because if you buy an item from me, definitely I'll make profit. I'm supposed to use the profit for something or save part of it, and then I'm supposed to refund you. So I have to look for that gain that I've eaten, add it and refund. And sometimes some will say, I don't want refund, I want that shoe. I've seen issues where they send shoe back from Abuja back to Lagos for me, and I have to pay for the Weibo, which is Weibo sometimes, like now Weibo is 4,000 naira. So I paid, I got the shoe. Supplier said the shoe, a day has passed, they cannot collect it. I just had to look for money, one way or the other, to buy. I think it was still my husband that helped me. So if my husband was not in the know of the business and everything, he just be looking at me and what what are you even selling? Like, but he had an understanding. So it was easy for me to run to him and say, babe, that's happened again. What's the say? And they'll be like, okay, don't worry, how much, what happened, and things like that. So I think transparency is very important. And then open communication. We must know what the other person is doing. I don't know who was telling me of a teenage girl that was always carrying school bag, and then parent thought she was going for a lesson. She was selling drugs. She was always carrying school bag in the morning. She leave the house, come back in the evening, and I thought she was going for a lesson. She was selling drugs. That's for a teenager. So how much more spouse, husband and wife? Then why are we now one? Except there's something else. Except there's something else. I hope that's fine. And then something else I wanted to add is finance. My husband doesn't do what I do. He's a pastor. He works in the school. He's a printer. Anything printing. I'm a drop shipper. I also have I have an ushering company that I do events for any kind of I usher for any kind of event. That one too is also away. I can't have an ushering job and I'm telling him the day I'm going for the job. I'm a married woman. Sometimes your ring is on the window. Maybe I'm in a hurry. Ring your one on the window. So I'll just carry it up. Yes, he has the right to say that. So I think we just have to, let him know, let her know this is what I do, this is what I don't do. In case we are in a world of, especially Lagos, anybody can call your husband and say anything about you. I saw your wife right now. I saw her in Lekki. Say, no, she told me she was going to Oshodi. What is she doing in Lekki? Or your sister-in-law? Or anybody, your friend, they won't greet you. They will even hide when they see you. And then your husband will just call you, what are you doing in Oshodi? I'll be like, oh, sorry, I want to say, you are cheating, you are this, you are that. So I'm leaving the house, my husband knows where I'm going to. Everything that has to do with me, funds, he knows. And I also know about his also. So I think main issue there is lack of communication. There will always be chaos in the house. There will always be arguments and fights. The woman will come say, it's my money. Is it your business? It's my business. It's my money. Things like that. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, so to follow up on that question. Now, we understand that as an entrepreneur, you want to make profits. And also you have a forecast of where you want your business to be in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, and all, and considering all surrounding circumstances that will pop up once in a while. So how can business owners strike a balance between ambition and contentment to maintain personal well-being and happiness? Ambition, contentment. Thank you.
Can that work really in Lagos? Is that working? Can it work now? Like, it depends on the business. Okay. Okay. I don't know where to start. That's a huge one. Budget. There must be a budget.
Yeah, so what we'd like to know is, you have a forecast. Where do you see your business in the next 3 years? And what are you, how content are you with what it is right now? Do you understand? And how have you been able to maintain that balance that, okay, even though this is not, maybe it feels like something that can be achieved, it looks so big, the ambition looks so unachievable considering everything that is happening, how do you still maintain that well-being? Yes.
Thank you. With everything going on right now, the price, inflation, everything, like for me, for my business right now, in the next 3 years, I want to see myself as a supplier, having a warehouse, not calling one supplier to deliver blue shoe and they're delivering rainbow. I want to have my own warehouse. I want to be able to be supplying. Let people come and buy cartons from me. That means I was shipping from Turkey, China, or anywhere that they have good stuff. Then for me to be able to maintain the income, because I will not say because I'm a supplier right now, then I'm buying everything, like everything in Vogue. Pastor Jimmy's shoe, I must buy that shoe. If she can wear that, why can't I wear the shoe too? You know, it happens. I won't compare myself with a supplier that's working for 25 years and then she's looking all shining and everything. I just started like 3 years ago and I want to start in competition with her. It won't work. In fact, the way I will drop, I will lose everything because I begin to do so many things that are wrong. So like I said earlier, if I now get to that stage, I must have plans. I know how much I'm paying my staffs. I know how many staffs I can pay. If it's only 3 that I can deal with, then let me just get only 3 staff and I will be available in the store to watch how they run the business and everything around. And because I want to have a store, doesn't mean that I will not sell 10 different items that I don't have idea of. I'll sell shoes, sell bags, sell earrings, sell glasses, sell belts, sell nails, artificial nails, sell eyelashes, sell human hair. No. So to maintain such, I can just do 5 items alone that I know that women are making use of right now. Then another thing for my own business is to know what to sell, what is in vogue. I can't start selling Christmas clothes now. Nobody will buy. Nobody will buy. So what is in vogue right now? School fees. School fees, lunch bags, school shoes, sneakers, uniform, and everything. So if I want to add that to my business from now till that time, like sometimes I hear parents who say, can I give 15,000 for 2 of my children? Just buy school bag and school shoe and only, and I'm like 15,000. I say, okay, send it. And then I'm running down to the island, you know, to go and buy all that. So in 3 years time, I don't think I want to be doing all that rushing and running around so that I will not burn out. Thank you.
Okay, I wanted to add that. So you have to be consistent. The truth is, most of us easily get frustrated. I mean, the environment makes us easily get frustrated. So she might have had a lot of ups and downs, but she's still doing it. So regardless of what you face, we are Christians. I want to believe that before we ventured into that business, we had gone to God to seek His face, and He has given you a particular idea. So when you hear in that place first is to hear. When you hear, regardless of what you face, just be consistent. Habakkuk 2:2, though it tarries, it will speak. If it's the Lord who gave you, it will show forth. Regardless of what you face, please be consistent, and then you see your growth. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. So I actually wanted to add Proverbs 24:30. It says, I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. 31. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns and nettles. Nettles has covered the face thereof, and the stones wall thereof was broken down. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. Yea, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come. So shall thy poverty come that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. So I'm saying this to make us know that God is aware of our attitude towards our well-being, our businesses, our incomes, our talents. Sometimes we just feel, let me be doing this way. Like I think you were the one that said it, man, because in Lagos, this is what does. Let me sell. Let me just continue. There's this Yoruba saying, I don't know how to say it. Ibiti or Ridanisi or one something like that. That where the head pushes you to, that's where you will stay. As a child of God, I don't take such confession. There's nothing like Ori that I see. I don't take that. So God is also aware that you can be tired, but not slothful. Mostly women. You are using an iPhone and they are just just snapping and snapping. Business is going on that phone. Like a whole lot can be done. So that slothful attitude, I will come back and do it later. And you have this gift of, maybe it might not be clothes selling, it might be something else that it might be a solution to people's problem out there. There's a time my sister was just in the house and everything. To Wale, kilo Wale. A lot. What did you do? She said, she just helped somebody to adjust the CV and they gave her 50K. Now. So the person cannot adjust CV. That's another talent. So some of us as ladies, we're just fine. We're just comfortable. My husband has money. So I don't think I have to work. I don't think, I'm sorry. No. Not like, I trust my Pastor Jimmy. She will want to have her own money. Double. I want to have my own money. So I think we should get up, tighten your seatbelt. The slothfulness, I think it's okay. Even though I know nowadays women are the one that is doing almost everything in the house, and we overwork ourselves, and then end of the day we're waiting for that child to grow up and buy you a car. My husband will say, I know you buy me a car, but I'll buy one for myself. So when you grow up, the one you give to me is an addition to the one I have. So I just encourage us to come out from the slothful, way, and then do what we can do.
Sorry, let me just add to that.
Okay.
That question is actually a very interesting one. And I just want to say that there's a difference between contentment and greed. So if you are in business, like she said, don't be content. Celebrate your achievements. You've set a target for yourself for 2 years. After 2 years, check if you've met your target. If you have met that target, celebrate it. Celebrate what you've achieved, but don't be satisfied.
Yeah.
But where you need to draw a line, if it's greed is beginning to set in, greed will bring down that business. Greed will help make you stop recognizing your staff. You start overcharging your customers. You lose your sense of customer centricity. You lose everything that has helped you build the business. So don't be satisfied. You will have a target. You meet your target, celebrate it, but forge ahead.
Thank you so much. Please give a round of applause to our panelists. Yes, so right now we dive into the questions. We have a lot of questions, both written and oral questions. So right now, I'll take one question from the audience. I'll read one of the questions with me. So I'll start with Sister Temidayo, while Sister Queen coordinates. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question for the three of them. Actually, one for each person, right? I believe
1 minute ish.
Definitely. Okay, so I'll start with Mrs. Titilayomi. Am I right? Okay, so my question would be: we keep harping on having a business. Is entrepreneurship for everybody, right? What if I want to be a career woman? I love to work in the corporate world. I love to wear dresses, gowns to the office. Do I have to be business minded? What if that's not something I'm good in, right? What if I would fail? Or would you say entrepreneurship is for everybody as long as you're willing to learn? That's my question. And for Pastor Mrs. Wumi, my question would be, with the societal pressures that we have for women especially, right? How do you strike a balance between wanting more and settling down? When I say wanting more, probably career-wise, financially, and then deciding to settle down. How do I strike a balance? How do I know when to put a pause to, wanting to grow in my field, wanting to make so much money, and knowing when to, settle down and be a housewife or something like that? But I don't want to be a housewife. That's by the way. Okay, and then my question for Mrs. Omomofe, am I right? Okay, would be so my question would be, how do you strike a balance between how do you know when to how do you strike a balance between learning and growing? I'll take a workplace for an example, right? So how do I know when to stop? Learning is continuous, right? So how do I know when I should I don't want to say put a pause to learning, but I hope you understand what I mean, and then climbing the ladder, like climbing the corporate ladder, right? And learning from my bosses and trying to let me give an example so that it's clearer, right? I'm coming. It's 1 minute now. I'm not wasting time. So let me give an example, right? So let's say I'm trying to switch career fields. I'm using my life as an example. I'm trying to switch to the IT unit, right? And after learning and so forth, I currently work in a financial institution, and I have the opportunity to actually move to my unit of choice, right? And with my same salary grade, right? It's not as if even though I'm new, doesn't mean that my salary reduces. And I know that if I move to that unit, I might not learn as much as I would want to, because there might really not be so much projects to work on. And choosing between working as an intern in probably a startup or, you know, other institutions where I get to work on so many projects and then I get to learn, but then my salary reduces, right? I'm probably getting half of what I used to earn. What would you expect me to do? Is it to just, you know, maintain my same salary and learn the little that I can learn where I'm supposed to be, or, you know, try to learn more by not minding if there's a drop and getting to know more? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just quickly take that. So, in life, not only in career, sometimes something has to give way for something. So, if you, oftentimes you have to take a pay cut just to go to where aligns with your personal goals. So, if that other company aligns with your personal goals, you know that there are projects there that you will work on and you will sell much later. It will be nice for you to take that pay cut now. So you say that it's better to pay the price early than pay it much later. Did I? Remember, I said your personal goal, does it align? So as much as you want to chase this money, it has to align. It has to be that thing that gives you joy. Your personal goal, does it align with it? Where do I want to see myself in 5 years? Do you understand? So if what you are looking at in 5 years, if that present place is not giving you, but it's giving you the money, I mean, in another 5 years you'll be frustrated. That money will not be enough. In another 3 months, that money might not even be enough. So just do it.
Thank you.
Okay. So how do you strike a balance between wanting more from career and settling down? Now, these two events are mutually inclusive. There are things that can happen and happen perfectly well at the same time. Marriage should not stop you from wanting more. You get married does not mean you drop your life. I was at a meeting and someone asked a question and said, how do you prepare for marriage? And I asked her, how do you prepare to wake up tomorrow when you sleep? Marriage is just another part of your life that opens up at the right time. It doesn't stop anything. So you get married, you are a career woman. If you stop in your pursuit of your career, then something has gone wrong. Then that means there's something either wrong with your marriage or wrong with you. So you can have the two at the same time going perfectly well, but what you just need is wisdom. How you are able to then balance the two. And one of the keys I would say is don't be selfish. You are a career person, you want to grow, you want to be this, you want to be that. You have to trade, so you have to drop every trait of selfishness. Because at a point you will need to get pregnant. At a point you need to make decisions. If I have to change jobs now, how do I place the family? Okay, do I wait 1 more year? Do I wait 2 more years? Do I need to settle? I remember when I started my job, at a point it got really boring, I wanted more, and I talked to a mentor, and thank God for, Mrs. Omoafe, she already said you need a mentor. I talked to a mentor and he told me, at this stage, your marriage is very young. Stay in this job, in this organization for a while. Get to have at least your first 2 children. Actually, I plan to have 2, but something happened. Another discussion for another day. And then you can then decide to move on. So you have to pay the sacrifice when that time comes. Now let me tell you, even if you are single, there are sacrifices you still have to pay because you want to grow. You are single, you have a sick parent, then you ask yourself, is this the right time to relocate or stay back because I have to take care of my parents? So these sacrifices come whether you are single or married. You just have to drop every trait of selfishness and marry right. If you marry a man that is interested in your growth, then you will have no problem growing. And how do you know a man that is interested in your growth? It has to be a man that's also self-driven. It has to be a man that is also interested in his own growth. You are not the one always calling him and asking him, have you read a book? So what are you doing now? He's always telling you, see, this life, and just take it easy. This life, he doesn't have any ambition. There is nothing ahead of him. He's not gaming for something. I'm married to a pastor, but I tell you, I'm married to a pastor who wants to learn everything possible in this world. So there's always something new he's trying to learn. And so that keeps you on your feet too, because you are not married to somebody who is just waking up in the morning and telling you, like she said, this is your business, safe. Anyway, just if you meet any issues, don't come back. You know, someone that is not supportive. If you marry a man that has sense, a man that has a place, he has a destination also. Then both of you are challenging one another. You're asking yourselves, okay, I've done my master's. What are you doing now? Okay, so what is next for us? There's always something both of you are aiming for that keeps you on your feet. And then both of you are also conscious of the fact that there are sacrifices that need to be made for the family, and with God, all things are possible.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, no, everyone is not supposed to be an entrepreneur. No, I never knew I'd be selling clothes or wares. Teacher, I love to teach. I love those beautiful children. I love I can carry a week, baby, 2 days, a day, baby, so I can carry. I just love to teach, to inculcate, to just add, just give. So I never knew I would be selling clothes. I never had that. It never came. There's something else I would have done that I'm still doing, ushering. That's another thing. Selling of clothes came when I was in the house. I stopped teaching because they will take all your time. You have no life. You have nothing. There's nothing you can do for you, especially if you're now teaching in a private school. Forget it. No pension, nothing. You have to lie that you're sick so that I can have a day off. They like it like that. So you can't grow. You are just giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and one day they just say, you know what, I think you're looking good in this business, so somebody else will come and take your job, but we'll give 50,000 naira to send you off. So I had to know something. God, I want something else. I was in a house, I shouldn't just come once in a while like that. So I was actually praying, God help me, I want something. I want to do something that will have nothing to do with me skipping service or saying I'm too tired to go for evangelism. Because trust me, whatever you do, if you are a follower of Christ, because I actually don't say if you are born again, all of us are born again. Are you following Christ? Are you following him? So if you're actually following him, then you will not delay. He's never stranded of us. He's never stranded of human. My sister sang, if it was just her that God has given the voice to be singing, and she said, Pastor Jimmy, change of plan, no, something came up, I won't be able to come. What will happen? So God has us a lot. So that business is not for everyone. You know your field, you know your, like she said, know yourself, focus. From childhood, some parents can tell you what their girl child will become in the future. So I was just praying for that job, praying, and then for something to do. And then the sister came to us to stay with us when she was pregnant. And then she said, they were patient to Kalimata show. I can't talk, I don't power to fight and all that. And then I felt this calmness, like I don't need to just end this prayer. This is the business for you. And then I started doing it. I've heard someone who sent me, she sent me it's something 1,000 naira on Facebook, and she said, I saw your advert on Facebook and decided to pay. And I said, where are you? She says she's in the UK right now, but her sister will be picking up for her at Abuja. And I was forced to ask, where did you get the trust? Why did you pay like that trust? She said, I followed I see your flyers, you drop church things. I just had a feeling that this one can't scam me, even though she has been scammed several times. And I felt happy, like, okay, that is what people should be saying, not the other way around. So that business being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. You can still stay in your office. If you're a career woman, you like the heels thing, the suits, and want to stay on the decks, fine. You will know. And then, like she said, with all God, things are possible. So just pray and ask God. If you have if you are doing some of us do so many things. We are sewing, we are learning hairdresser, we are cooking, we like to bake, we are doing so many things. We are confused. So pick two and pray. Ask God, where is my money? Where is my billions? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be giving out? So is that fine? Hello.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much for the answers to the questions. Yes, and I think it has answered some of the questions that are here about do you need to have another business to support what you are doing or something, have a multiple stream of income. So this question is to Pastor Wumi. As a single lady, what advice can be best given to a friend who fornicates and tries as much as possible to stop, but feels like if she leaves the relationship, getting someone else might not be easy.
The marriage or the relationship?
The relationship.
I don't understand.
Like
If she leaves the relationship,
getting someone else might not be easy.
so she goes ahead fornicating in the relationship.
Yes.
So number one, that relationship is not for you now. Because you are now the one sustaining the relationship by your powers. So number one, she's in a wrong relationship. I don't even need to prophesy or have a vision to see that. You are in a wrong relationship. You keep fornicating. The guy probably doesn't see anything wrong in it. She is, maybe because of the little fear of God she has, she's still considering, is it a sin, is it not a sin? Like I said, sex is not what will make a man marry you. She can continue in that relationship and the guy will still break up tomorrow. Moreover, if you continue in that relationship and it ends in marriage, trust will be difficult to build in such a relationship. Any relationship that is characterized with premarital sex struggles with trust if such relationship, eventually leads to marriage. So there's no advice. So leave the relationship, look up to God. He who gives will give. Because if you're in a relationship and then you think you have to be the one to go and look for another person, then you actually don't understand why you have to be married. Because it is not about you going out to look for a man. And I think that's why many of us ladies believe we have to expose our bodies. I'm sorry, maybe I'm just old school. But you go to weddings now, you see the bride half naked. And then you see the groom, 3-piece suit, fully covered with socks. And I'm asking myself, why has the devil deceived us this much? So you think you have to do everything to keep that relationship normal. You are not the one to keep the... If that relationship is of God, you will not be the one to sustain it. And you can't even sustain a godly relationship based on fleshly activities. Carnality. Carnality will bring it down. It can't. Let's take another question.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Amen. So I wanted to say, when you were talking the other time, you said something about sorry, there's a way you put it, like doing something wrong, giving all your best, just trying to keep that man. He's not your husband. You're in a relationship. I don't know how many years. Please leave, run, go now. You'll be shocked that he might even have a family out there. I read a story on Facebook. The lady said the husband said no child for 5 years. They should, make money and money and money and money. And then this guy has a family. He has 3 children, 3 out there. And so the lady was, I think she was cleaning the store, and then she saw visas in the store. That's where the man hid it for. So they're planning to leave the country. The guy, the wife, and the 3 children. So what happens to this lady? This one, they're even married. Then you are not married yet. Please, not even in this world now. Please, I would advise that person, like, run.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that answer. So I will take one last question from the audience. Oh, okay. Yes. Statosin, please go
Okay,
on.
good afternoon, everybody. Okay, so I have a question for Mrs. Titilayomi and Mrs. Omomufe. Apologies to Pastor Omi. We don't do relationship here. Mrs. Omomufe. Okay, so this is it. I work in a corporate organization. I'm good at my job. Even my bosses know that I am good at my job. But yeah, I'm with the kind of boss that don't give room for growth. They don't give you room to climb the corporate ladder. They feel like you're good here and just remain here. But you know yourself that you can do more than this. You're beyond this. What do I do? Then Mrs. Titilayomi, I'm a business-oriented person. Like, I know the in and out of business. If I have the financial capacity, I can make any business work out. But I find myself in a corporate organization that do not even give me room to borrow me English, I beg now. God, I beg.
The organization does not allow you.
Does not allow me to yes, just to do what I want to do outside coming to work. I want to explore in my skill, but my organization doesn't give me room to even let people know what I do, because even when they bring jobs, I know I will not have time to carry the job out, and I will not want to disappoint my clients. What do I do?
Okay, go first. Okay, which do you find joy in? Which one do you do? And I just feel this fulfillment, like.
Okay, I've not tried the business aspect, but the two is something I love because the two is business like.
Okay. Because.
Okay, I think I can relate with you. So in some organizations, it's a no-no to do outside business interest. I mean, if you go abroad, you can ask a lot of, I know a lot of us, even in this church has jackpot, you can ask them, when you work in an organization, you work in an organization, there's no time for business. Yeah. So, but it doesn't necessarily, some people do it by proxy. So you don't have to really be involved in it, but you can, like she said, good staff. He can be your partner who can do it. It doesn't have to be you per se, and then you can even take time out to try it if you're on leave. So just to see if that's where your strength lies. If you're on leave, I mean, every organization do go for leave, even if it's 5 days. So in that 5 days, you can try on a business and see if it is worth it, if it's something you can do, and then decide. If you try it twice, if you take your annual leave twice and try it, and then okay. So on being good at your job and yet you are not being promoted because your boss. So my foundation is Christ. My foundation is on this altar. I have learned several times. Oftentimes, like Bible says, it's not of him that willeth, it's not of him that runneth, it's of the Lord who shows mercy. So oftentimes, I have people in my team that will not even do as much as they should do, but when it's time for remuneration, you start to hear people say, oh, they just did this. Or when it's time for remuneration, that's when they will just do one fantastic job and one boss will say, I recommend. So I understand the place of prayers. I understand the place of altar. There's a girl in my team, I used to say, whenever you are with your mother, appreciate her. Some of the things I see in your life is from the place of prayers. So if you work for a boss who does not see the good in you, is on your knees. Most battles in life, regardless of work, whether workplace, whether in the marketplace, whether in business, whether in marriage, is on your knees. So Bible says there's a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty gives him understanding. He has given you understanding, so you know the job. If you are not now being promoted because your boss does not want you, you can pray him out. Trust me, because I have done it. It has worked for me. Like, it works for people. I have seen people say, oh, my boss is difficult. It's even that one. Bible says when your way pleases the Lord, even your enemy will be at peace with you. Try it. It doesn't look likely, but try it. If you know your job, if you're actually doing it, somebody else will even see you and recommend. There will be a recommendation above of your boss.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for. Thank you so much for the answers to these questions. And I believe that we've learned one or two things from this session. And so this time I would want you to give us, a word of admonishment, just 30 seconds each to wrap up this session. Thank you very much.
Hello. Okay. So my word of admonition is, life is generally tough. Is now tougher. But just be you, be consistent, and know God. That's it.
Okay, praise the Lord. Now, considering all that has been said, for me, I don't want to say last word, we'll still see again. But the word of encouragement is, keep fire, live fire on your altar. There is nothing you want that you cannot get, like she said, outside of your altar. I've seen cases. I'm a live example. life example. Somebody came to me some weeks ago complaining about our organization, saying the owners are so abusive, they don't recognize her. Then I asked that one question. Do you know their names? She said yes. It's done now. Wake up during the night, call their names. You favor me. You love me. You know, when you have an altar that is alive, you just go there and you evoke the power of God. And it works like magic. Why not? See, everybody has altars. Oh. You come to the office. I've worked with somebody who had a terrible shrine in his house. And I didn't know. Oh, that's another story for another day. He would come to work with cowries in his pocket. I noticed he was always putting his hands in his pocket, but we didn't know. And you know, during that period, God just delivered me. I escaped. In fact, let's not go into that. Keep your altar alive. She came back the next week and said, guess what? The owners called me and said, you know what? We've been looking at you. Can you tell us what you think we need to do? She said she just said something and they said, okay, go and start working on it. She worked on it. They increased her salary that same week. They promoted her that same week. And she just seems like, you know, the coin suddenly flipped. So keep your...
Amen. So mine will be, take envy out of the way, take hatred out of the way. Don't compare. Don't compare 60-year-old woman with 25 years. Don't compare. How come she's making it? Maybe she has one baba. Let me go and for one baba. Don't compare. Like she said, God. It's just God. No envy, no hatred. Don't compare. If your neighbor is selling, just face God. You too, look for a better means to make your business better. Don't compare whether business or your offices. Don't compare. Just and try and make peace with all men. That's it. Thank you.
So on this note, we'd like to say thank you so much.